Sim, we're in the film room. How much time you spend in the film room? Tell me.
In the film room, however much time we're in there with coaches. On the actual iPad in the film,
It's a different
lot.
story.
You know, at the home, that's where you get like the best film because you're in your environment and what you're doing.
And then you take that with you on the road. It's on the plane. It's on the bus. It's all that.
It doesn't leave my side. I need it.
So film's a big thing for you.
Film's a huge thing for me, yeah, for sure.
Right. So let's put this tape on real quick.
I got a question.
What's up?
What's on the top right of your corner?
Follow through.
Oh, well.
They don't know about that. That actually might be a secret weapon. Right. That's a little tidbit for you guys. All right, so let's look at this film here. This one is from last season, playing against Calgary. This is one of the toughest places on the field to play because if you make a mistake, they get points.
Yeah.
So you're at the will linebacker position. That's what they call it in Hamilton, the will. And on this play, I mean, you do a lot of different stuff, but on this play, it looks like you're about to blitz. You're about to bring some pressure. It looks like cover 0 probably. And then at the last second, pops out into coverage. Talk to me about this play. Walk me through what you're doing here.
This play is so funny because it's like, I'm trying so hard to show it like it's 0. I'm even talking to Brooks. If you rewind it a little bit, I'm like, hey, Brooks, show it like it's 0. Show it like it's 0. So and then now I'm coming up to the line of scrimmage, and then I'm looking, and I'm just listening to Bo, seeing if I could catch anything. And I'm like, I know he's looking at 2 receiver weak right now. Like, pause it right here. Like, right now, he's heavy on him. And I see Kamar, he's a weapon for them, of course. So I see it's Kamar then, so I'm like, I switch my feet. You see how my feet right there like that? I'm like, oh snap, that's Kamar right there. So I gotta really get on my horse to get to number 2,
wow,
just so he doesn't get to the seed, because I'm like, I'm coming from the line of scrimmage.
Right.
I don't want him just let him be able to get up and throw the ball, because I know Brooks, he's getting out of there because he's the higher guy, right?
Right.
So I'm buzzing out the number 2. I'm like, I pretty much got Kamar man to man. If you know. I pretty much got to stick him for at least like my area of the space. So I switch my feet. I buzz out there. I know he's on me. And then I feel him on me, right? I feel I'm all right. I got him in my hip pocket. So I get a little quick peek at Bo. And I'm like, Bo, really? He really just tried? Like, I'm not these little kids, Bo. Like, I get it, but not me. Like, not me. Like, I'm good. If I'm going to do anything, I'm going to protect the money. You
wow.
feel what I'm saying?
So then you just, you get in his hip pocket right here. You're running step for step with him, knowing you got help over top, and then you pivot back inside. That's so that you can see when the ball's coming?
Yeah, so I'm looking with my peripheral, you feel me, when I'm buzzing out, and then I see him still square. So I'm like I read the quarterbacks, right, shoulders and stuff. So I see him still square, like right down the line. I'm like, oh, this is coming out. So I'm like, and then we got to, on this play, because we're buzzing out, right? So we got a defensive tackle, buzz, like getting in like the lane where it's supposed to be an immediate throw where it's going to be open, right? But it's a defensive lineman, right? So, shoot, he tried the window, and I'm like, nah, not today.
You just made a play.
It's just a play, routine play. I should have picked it, though. It was a good play. It should have been a great play.
Hey, I mean, well, if we started off with the best play, there'd be no room for improvement. But, I mean, from this angle, you can see here, it's the awareness to me, which is what jumped out, is the fact that you saw, before he really broke inside, it's like you started going inside.
Yeah, and that's just all trusting your teammates though too, right? So like if you run it back, like I know as long as this guy is wide, I can tell by a football field. You see how wide he is right now?
Right.
The only thing he can do is come back in, or he can run to the corner where Brooks is easily already on it. Because this is the boundary.
Right.
There's no room over here, you know what I mean?
Right.
So the quarterback only got a certain amount of routes he can throw, a certain amount of things he can do. So number 2 receiver, if he's that wide already, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, okay, you got like 2 routes you can run, bro.
Hey, but that comes from, like you were saying, all that film you watched, man. All right, look, let's go to this one. Playing against Winnipeg at home. They're backed up. I believe it's right before halftime, so they're probably going to try and move the ball down, at least get to a position where if they punt it, it's not automatically field goal range, because if they punt backed up, Ticats get the ball and they could already score points. So this is an important point in the game right before half. You're at the bottom of the field here on that number 2 receiver split out from the box.
So on this play, I'm like, I'm over the number 2 receiver or whatever, and I'm jamming him up. I usually jam him up on pass just to slow down his route to help out the boundary half. So like he doesn't just get a free release and stuff. But on this play, he starts moving into the box. I'm like, oh, he trying to make my job easy, you know what I mean? So like, because I'm over number 2, so he goes into the box, so I'm gonna move into the box with him. And like the thing was before this, like the week before they played Saskatchewan, and 88, he's a tough dude. Like he's real tough. Like he was blocking their will linebacker to sleep. And like I think Harris had probably like 300 yards or something crazy, right? And I'm like, nah, they're not gonna try this. Like I take all that stuff mad personally. Like they're not gonna treat me like they, you know what I mean?
Right.
So he's going into the box. I'm like, in my head it just clicked. I'm like, oh, this is run. Even though it's second and like, it's like one of those in-between downs where it's like, oh, we can catch them.
Right.
You're bringing in one of your best blockers to the box. For what?
So it's like they went from being in his world as a receiver to coming into your world as a linebacker.
Exactly. And the best thing, if I'm a team, I'm like, all right, let's keep Sim as far away from the box as possible. But now like they're bringing him into the box and like, yeah, that's a receiver still. Like, you know what I mean?
Let's look at this from the end zone cut. You can see it better. You come into the screen from the right. And now talk to me about getting off of the block. Like, what is this? Is this technique or is this just bench press and time in the weight room?
This is technique, you know what I mean? Because like the one thing about me is like I'm explosive from like pop to pop. I'm mad explosive because I just know how to hit people, right? So like I always keep my hands inside. You see where my hands are? My hands are inside. So no matter what, like I'm gonna win. It's just physics, you know. Like
inside
hand always, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So now like I'm like, all right, I can't give up my gap because technically if he puts his butt to the blocker, I'm technically blocked. So I got to regain position. And I always tell my Mike linebacker, because he has 2 gaps on this play, I'm like, yo, if you're not sure, lose to my side and I'll show up, right? Put that on me. Like, yo, if you're not sure, just go to the field and I'll fill out. And Javon does a great job, playing the 2 gap and all that. But I mean, it's just like, it's a receiver blocking a linebacker, you know what I mean?
Supposed to win. On this play, it's similar, but this is versus a screen. So, I mean, they put you in coverage a lot. Like, that's something the will linebacker has to do in the CFL. And disrupting routes. Talk to me about what you're trying to accomplish.
So I'm going to give you inside my brain process. Okay, boom, 1st and 20. I'm thinking screen automatically. But I'm also thinking like, yo, they got to get some of this yards back. And then I'm looking at 2 week. What receiver is there? All right, so they got a receiver that's not usually at 2 week. So on this play, I was making sure I get my jam because I got to do my job. My first job is jam number 2. And then I'm looking in the backfield and I'm just seeing a whole bunch of elephants on parades. You know elephants on parades.
So talk to them about elephants on parade.
Elephants on parade. It's just like, it's an acting school, right? It's like the linemen are like, oh, it's time for us to act. We're going to act like we get the block and then we come into the screen. And I mean, like, we've been playing football since we was like 9, right? So I'm sitting there, I see that, and then I'm like, hold on. So the back is to us. So that's something that like they normally don't do. Usually the back's away. So I'm like, hold on. And then I'm like, nah. But then as soon as I seen the guard come out, I was like, all right, if I beat this guard, it's over. You know what I mean? Because with screens, you either got to shoot or you got to play it like a little soft and let your dogs come get it.
Right, and so once you see these offensive linemen running out in space, the ball doesn't even have to hit the running back for you to know where it's going.
Nah, the job, like he only has one person he can throw the ball to, and like the guard doesn't know where the running back is. You can tell, and the QB's like, all right, well, I'm not supposed to be there, so I'm just
it's better you than me, running back.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry it had to be you.
Right here, it's almost like you become a D lineman.
Yeah.
You at the bottom of the screen, you're blitzing off the edge. And I'm not sure if that's my man Derek Dennis. You get cut, and I mean that could end bad. Like, but you don't go down.
Nah, man, I'm not supposed to though. Like, it looks like it may be physical, but there's no velocity coming from that. You know what I mean? Like, if you get cut, like that's my mistake. You know. So it's like I'm coming off the edge. Right now, this is a quad pack. I usually play to the boundary, come to the field. So now sometimes they don't even account for me. And like I was mad confused because. Why is he cutting in a 5-step drop?
Right.
Well, because like,
so wait, explain that.
That doesn't even make sense to me. I was like, he just cut me and his quarterback still has the ball. Like, so I'm like, all right, either the play broke up or like It was a miscommunication on somebody's fault. Because if he's cutting me like this, I'm like, all right, it's 3-step.
Because it happens quickly.
It has to happen quickly because he's not going to get off the ground before I get off the ground to make the play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So on a 5-step drop or on a longer progressing pass play,
You're not cutting.
They want to sustain.
You have to stay on the block.
Right.
So he cuts me. Well, I didn't fall, so that's technically not a cut. I wouldn't get
My
a
bad.
minus for that.
My bad.
My feet is still on the ground. You know what I mean?
Right, coach, make sure he gets the plus.
Hey, I
coach.
do not get a minus for that. I did not get cut. All right. So, and then you gotta think about it. Like this is fun just because like everybody got one-on-ones all across the board, and like
Man,
somebody gotta win.
how about Ted Laurent on this play, right in the center, one-on-one with the biggest guy on the offensive line versus the biggest guy on the defensive line.
Oh, like they don't want none of those problems. You know what I mean? So like, all you gotta do in this defense, like most defenses, is be disciplined, right? Like my job, I'm an outside rusher, clean everything out, don't let nothing outside of me, and go clean anything up. And I'm like, all right, well, shoot, I got Ted Laurent about to get a one-on-one with, I don't care who it is. You know what I mean?
Right pick.
So it doesn't matter what's going on. I know Ted's going to get this guy off the track. Like, he's not going to have a straight drop back. And if he does, like, Ted has a sack and he's doing, you know what I mean, his belly
rub.
and throwing up the X for his son.
Right. and then there you go right here. To your point, is like he gets the center turned, and now the quarterback has to move.
Has to make a decision.
And you end up being the beneficiary right there. So playing against this other team.
Oh, man, they haven't blocked this play since we opened up the field for them in BMO. You remember when we opened up the field for them at BMO? Like,
yeah, that was nice.
Yeah,
I remember that.
They have not blocked this play.
Right, so they go 4-by-1 here, and that just means 4 receivers to the top, 1 at the bottom. And look, the team's going to confuse, and I think a large part of what a defense does is to like be physical and whatnot, but sometimes you affect them by deceiving them, showing them one thing, giving them another.
This play, like, this was a whole team effort. This is the best view to watch it from. All right, so now you look at this. All right, go back. Because this is the stuff that kills me because you realize, like, a lot of people just don't understand, you know what I mean? Or they don't watch tape, you know what I mean? It's either they don't understand or they don't watch tape. All right, so they're going to call out the mic. Oh, 21's the mic, 21. So I'm going that way. So right now, I'm cheating. I'm like, well, since he's going to call me out, let me get my ass all the way on this side so I can make my blitz easier so I can get a free play because I'm trying to get them to slide. So he's like, all right, I'm going this way.
Right.
I'm like, all right, bet. Coach get mad at me because I be cheating so far over because I don't want them to, like, if they 5 protected, then I'm not the free guy.
So you be actually setting yourself up.
Yo, it's all in the game, yo. So look, you got 2 big defense ends. You got Julian and Jaguar over there, right? So now they're like, it all makes sense.
Right.
We gotta slide this way.
Right.
Why are we gonna stay on these 2 guys? So I'm coming back over, right? This is an easy pass. Look, like, I don't even play O-line, but this is such an easy pass. Like, they have enough people. Like, there's people not doing their job. Like, the thing they get paid for, they're not doing their job, yo. They are not doing their job. Like, this, stop it. All right, so look. Look at 67.
Right.
And then look, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go down with this guy, even though I'm gonna go down with this guy, even though I got like an uncovered guard in the center, like, right, whatever. I'm just gonna go down with him, right? And then I'll get the next thing that pops out. This guy, the tackle, he's not gonna recover. Like,
he's already committed too far.
Now he's like, oh snap, I messed up. And look, he has a hand on me like, I don't know, nobody that's going to block anybody with a hand.
Right, and so now the quarterback, he hasn't been hit, but he's definitely been affected because the O-line is, they a little bit all over. Right.
He's like, yo, why isn't nobody in my face right now?
Right, and the pressure then is coming off that edge, and sometimes when you hustle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this felt good. I'm not even going to lie. Like, you know, scoring touchdowns feels good, but scoring a touchdown on Labor Day against them boys?
Right.
Man.
So, hey, just talk to me about this real quick. You tackle, you cover, you blitz, all different kind of stuff. What makes a good CFL linebacker?
I can tell you what makes a great CFL linebacker. Like, you have to be able to adapt in everything. Like, it's not like a will linebacker is such a special position on the football field because it's somebody that's like a special team of the defense.
Explain that a little bit.
You know how special teams, you gotta be mad athletic, you gotta be able to do everything, you gotta be able to pump block, run down the field, block people, hold up in protection.
Right.
The will linebacker to me is like that Swiss Army knife. Like if you got a good will, because you can disguise a lot of stuff. Like you can use the will as a boundary half. You can use the will as a Sam. You can use the will as a Mike. You can use the will as a defensive end. Like you did a great. Like we just watched a clip at me at like 4 different positions other than my job.
Right. We actually didn't get any like pure run fits.
Exactly. We didn't even talk about that yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just like it's one of those positions where you have to be able to do everything and just the understanding of the game.
Right.
A lot of the stuff up here is just like understanding what the offense wants to do and what they want to attack and where they want to attack and who they want to attack.
Right.
Like it's like to me it's so simple now. Like before I used to be like, I'm like trying to run all over the place.
Just trying to be an athlete?
You know what I mean? Straight rely on my athletic ability. But now I might not even move on a play, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be 2nd and 8. And I might just be like, you know what? I'm gonna just go to my drop and just stand here for a little bit, just let him know like it's not here today.
Right.
Instead of giving them the whole performance of running back there.
Right.
Like I'm gonna just sit right here.
That comes with being a vet. That comes with carrying that iPad through the hotel on the road trip and all that kind of stuff. It's all in the game of seeing things 1,000 times.
1,000 times, reputation.